What's good? It's your boy Hollywood Chuck. I'm back with another top podcast. I'm here with actress, songwriter, play actress as well. She's in some plays as well. But I brung you on today, Artiva Williams. Artiva Williams, and I brung her on today to talk about Tubi. How you doing this evening?
I'm doing good.
That's good.
How are you?
I'm well. Yeah, I'm well. So your most recent score was in Scam Likely.
Correct. And I did a small part, I would say, like the extra work in the new movie Locked In.
Locked In. So what's that, like a thriller?
That was a thriller, yeah.
So like a drama almost, like
it was
Locked In sound like
it was about being kidnapped and being captured in the basement of a house.
Really?
So yeah, that was interesting.
What part did you play in that? You said you played a small part.
I did some extra work at the bank. Just walking by. When the bank robbers came in, I was one of the people that got knocked out to the ground.
Oh, okay. You was an extra. So let's talk Scam Likely, HWIC Films, John Del Cerrone, David Snyder, and a host of Cleveland actors and actresses like yourself.
Yeah.
And how did you stumble on the part?
The funny thing is the main actor, A-Rod,
yeah,
his sister is friends of mine, and she was just, she has just DM'd me out of nowhere one day and was like, "Are you still acting?" I'm like, "Yeah, I still do it."
Yeah.
And she's like, "Well, I got something for you." She was like, "Here's this," she sends me the audition information. So I just went to the audition and nailed the part. Yeah.
So
I was so excited the day that Johnny Filmworks put on my story. He put it on his story. He was like, one of the greatest auditions, and he had my picture up there and the recording of my audition. And I was just like, did I get the part? But he didn't tell me I got the part.
So when did you find out that you got the part?
It was weeks later. I think he was just trying to see if I was gonna be dedicated with the part, because there's a lot of people that go for things and then all of a sudden they'll just drop out and they won't. They're not dedicated. They won't be on time. They won't do the right thing. Yeah. So he was just trying to vet me basically to see if I was gonna. Yeah.
Let me ask you a question. How was the transition? Because this was your first movie, right?
First real role in the movie.
So how was
I've done like cameos, like in The Land, the movie.
Okay,
The Land.
You was in The Land with MGK and all that.
Yeah.
Okay, so you did. You have had some.
I've had some
other extras, but this was like a main.
This was a main speaking role with several different scenes that I was in, and I was friends with the main actress.
Right.
Buddy Vaughn. I can't think.
Lakeisha is her name?
No. Goodness, mine was Bobby. I remember my character's name.
But I think her real name was like Lakeisha.
Her name is Buddy Vaughn.
Buddy Vaughn.
Yeah.
That's her real name.
That's her name. Yeah.
Yeah, she did a great job too, Buddy Vaughn.
She
and you was kind of like the voice of reason.
I was trying to tell her
in the movie.
Yeah, I was trying to tell her about the guy that she was, linking up with and getting to know and everything, that he wasn't a good guy.
Right.
And she wasn't listening. But I've been in that situation.
LaSarah Sparks is her name.
LaSarah, yeah. So
Buddy Vaughn is her actress.
Right. Name. But what I'm saying is, I've been in that situation where someone will tell me about. Matter of fact, it's crazy. I don't know if I should talk about it.
So it's like, almost like you almost had a personal experience.
I did understand.
So that role was something that was kind of like a natural progression for you.
Exactly. Because, I've been warned about a particular individual, and they were so charming,
and come to find out they was a scumbag.
They were
scammers. They scamming.
Yeah.
How was the working with the other actors? Were they easy on you? Was it like, were you nervous?
They were easy. They were pretty easy on me. We had a great crew. We had a great cast. Everybody worked really well together. We had a very good chemistry with one another.
Yeah.
did a lot of laughing. There was a lot of cursing, a lot of like, just blooper. I mean, he did a blooper where I don't know if you saw that.
No, I didn't see it, but it was
like a
lot of
times.
promo in that.
And so the one scene that we did at Euclid Creek, he decided to change the script. I had a certain script down, and I thought this is what we were going to do.
That day?
That day.
And you had to memorize it that day? I had
to memorize it.
How hard was it for you, or was it hard at all? It wasn't hard. Because you did
I've got a good
plays
memory.
as well.
Yeah, I've got a good memory. And when you're in a play, you can't fumble in a play.
No,
there is no
takes.
So I'm so used to like memorizing things.
Yeah.
So there's no takes in plays. You just have to go for what it is, or you may have to improvise so that the audience doesn't know that you actually fumbled the
Have you ever had
words.
to improvise?
Never had to improvise. Always memorize my lines.
Always memorize your lines.
Yeah, I would actually turn them into songs. It sounds weird, but I turned my
jingles or just straight songs.
Yeah, like so that I could memorize them, and then I would listen to that person's there was a key word that person would say, so that I knew that I could bounce my words off of theirs.
Yeah.
Like whatever line that they had last, I knew that was my turn to go in and like shoot my.
So did you grow up in Cleveland?
Actually, I did not grow up in Cleveland. I grew up in a country town where like my neighbors were like a mile away.
But you're from Ohio?
I am from Ohio, yes.
Okay. So you're a country girl.
I'm a country girl, yeah.
Yeah. Farms, pigs, and flowers.
This is probably not the best thing to say out loud,
What's
but
that?
I milked cows.
You milk cows?
I actually milked cows before.
Wow. So you might be good for a Western roll. You milk cows before, you might be good for a Western roll.
Yeah.
In the movie Scam Likely, you end up getting knocked off.
Yeah. Now I'm gonna tell you about that scene when the guy was taking me from the garbage can. DMG Honcho.
Yeah.
He squeezed me so.
Shout out to
When I tell
Honcho.
you, he squeezed me so hard because I think he was really taking the role very serious.
Yeah.
It was so scary because I saw him
You act
coming.
like you did that before.
I saw him coming towards me. Now the first take that they did, I screamed really loud, so it was like a great scream.
Yeah.
But that second take that they used, when I was like, he squeezed me so hard I couldn't get the scream out. But it was so authentic. That's the reason why they used that instead of my actual scream, because that one was more or less me playing the role.
Yeah.
But when he squeezed me like he did from behind and he caught me up and pulled me from the garbage can by the alley, that was the authentic thing that I did. I wasn't able to get my scream out. So apparently you're being squeezed.
Yeah. That was like that was like the realization of what actually happened. Now I want to ask you a question. How serious was that message that was being put in the movie? Because that movie had a message in it, and so the seriousness of that, how
like giving your all to a man that is clearly being disrespectful. She was being disrespected.
Yeah.
Every turn that she he brought other women in. He obviously used her name on a lot of legal documents and things like that. So yeah, that movie was really serious. The message was really serious. I had a lady that I met on the street that actually said something to me about using that movie, not my movie, but using that movie as a message to young ladies of what not to
be
do.
aware.
Yes.
Because you got a lot of predators, and not just men, but more so men kind of do it to women more so than anything. But you got a lot of predators that's out here. So ladies, y'all got to be careful when y'all out here dealing with different individuals that you just meet. And sometimes things can be too good to be true, But I want to talk about. You said you did plays as well.
Yes, I had.
What was the name of the plays you
Black was one of the plays that I did. The one about slavery.
Yeah.
And it was We actually did it in the month of February. We, during the Black History Month, and it was an homage to the women that were left behind and their men that were taken by the slave captors. And the woman had a heart song that she had said to her husband. She was so angry with him for so many years and didn't know what had happened. She thought he had abandoned her and the kids.
But he had been caught by slave captors. He had been caught.
And then eventually she ended up getting caught and they ended up meeting together. And that's how that ended up.
Yeah.
They started to, have a dialogue together, and they talked about the fact that you left me behind, and he was like, well, it wasn't my fault.
No, I didn't.
I didn't really leave you. Yeah. I would never have done that. Captured. So it was
This was an American movie, or what was they brought over here, or they was
were brought
already
to
here?
America. They were brought
and
to
then
America.
he was captured again while he was in America?
No, he was brought to America from his captures.
Okay, and separated.
So they were separated. She was still in Africa, doing her thing, and
then they caught her.
And then they caught her.
That's wild.
Yeah. The funny thing is, and this is the craziest part about the whole thing, is the people that sold her were her tribe.
Really?
These were the people that she trusted.
And they say that a lot of the times that happened in Africa a lot, that Africans were the first people to be slave traders. And that's real strange.
When I read the script and I talked and I got indulged in the story, I couldn't believe it that we have betrayed ourselves. But at the end of the day, if you think about it, it happens all the time, even now.
Yes, it does.
It happens
frequently
now, even in that movie Scam Likely. Think about it. We did that to each other.
I'm kind of bouncing around right here now. But was Scam Likely all shot in Cleveland?
It was shot in Cleveland. I think the prison scene was in like Indiana.
Oh, really?
If I'm not mistaken. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So the budget was real,
When I tell you that was one of the most that movie was great. Like he literally took care of us. He fed us. We were definitely treated like Hollywood. Like we were, we had our breaks and then we would go back
Hollywood and Cleveland. That's
it really was like that.
Abbreviation.
I felt like I was in a real movie production.
Well, it was.
It really was. But I'm just saying it was just
it was surreal here.
You wouldn't think that it would be like that here in Cleveland, because usually you don't get.
Well, they shot over like 98 major motion pictures. Well, they shot about 45 of the 98 that they supposed to shoot here.
Yeah.
They done shot the Marvels here. They done shot Dog Eat Dog here with Nicolas Cage. They done shot so many different movies just recently in Cleveland. So Cleveland is like the new hot spot for actors. If you want to, get your feet wet, you want to get with.
This is the place.
Get with people here in Cleveland because it's popping.
It is popping.
When you was coming up, did you act in a lot of plays? When you was younger, in your younger years, 12 years old?
My parents used to make us do plays for them.
Oh, in the house?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
They would make us we'd have to dress up as various characters. And then it spilled over from home into church.
Yeah.
We used to do a lot of plays at church and things like that. So.
Grew up in the church?
Oh yeah. Grew up in the church.
And you also said you wrote a couple songs for plays.
Oh yeah.
A couple scores, couple theme songs for the plays. How easy is that for you?
It's as easy
to come up with songs for a play.
Having a conversation like right now.
Really?
And usually when I write for someone else, they'll just tell me what it is that they want done, and then I'll listen to the concept of what's going on, and then from there I'll just create a song. I consider it as building a sandwich.
Talking about creativity, talking about being creative, just coming off the top of your head with energy to put into a playwright that maybe you never heard of, because it's not like it was The Wiz.
No.
It was something. These are fresh plays. These are plays from independent playwrights. So that's really being very creative. you know.
I had to be creative growing up. I mean, obviously my parents they used to force us to do it, but after a while it was like second nature.
Are you grateful for that? Are you grateful for that?
I am grateful for that.
Are you grateful for your parents?
I'm grateful for the way that I grew up, even though it was a very different way of growing up, obviously.
Religious? Very religious?
I would say they were very religious. Yeah, they were. We definitely went to church like more often than not.
Right.
You know, Saturday, Sunday. You know, because my parents were involved in the church, and I actually was a junior treasurer, so I used to do the books.
Okay, they let you count the money.
Yeah. That's what started me into accounting. Isn't that crazy? I became an accountant after that.
Oh, really?
You know, yeah.
So you did some modeling as well in your day.
Mm-hmm.
Name some of the shows you did.
I did a show at the House of Blues. That was a really interesting.
That's a pretty big stage.
Yeah, it was nice. Stage. It was really nice. I was so nervous. So we were drinking, we were taking shots in the back so that we wouldn't.
That's what most models do anyway, don't they?
Drinking a little something, little something to drink.
Kick it a little bit.
Yeah, in the back. And then I'm the type of person that does a lot of positive speaking life into other people and things like that. Like you got this, you can do this, we got this. And then I'm thinking to myself, oh, who's going to do that for me? Nobody cheers me on, but I always cheer everybody on around me.
How do you stay motivated? What helps you stay motivated?
I meditate every day. I'm a very happy person. I meditate. I think about positive things all the time. I don't really get into the negative mode of things, even though this happened in my shoe. I'm laughing about it because it was just okay, things happen.
Yeah,
I mean, life happens. So you can't get mad about life because life is gonna happen with or without you accepting it. So you might as well accept it.
If you if somebody wanted to give the young lady or young man wanted to get started in acting, what would be something that you would get them to help them get started in acting?
I would tell them to go out and seek different places to go, and watch a lot of movies. Mm-hmm. Watch a lot of movies. I patterned myself after. Yeah, you do have to study to show yourself approved. For that role with Black Is, I had to do an African accent. I had to speak like an African.
You had to switch your dialect.
I had to switch my whole entire dialogue. So I literally would practice every day on how to roll my R's because they talk like that. They talk with a roll.
It's kind of like French.
It was really crazy, but I got the roll down pat and I did it. It takes a lot of diligence with acting. It takes a lot of diligence, brain work. You have to work that brain.
Yeah.
And
was people forgetting their lines on set?
We always forget.
Was it a lot of
people forget. And then sometimes you get brain fog and you'll just be sitting there and then they'll be line, somebody feed me the line. Of course, the lady is always there to feed the line, and she, would feed the line.
Oh, so on set they have somebody.
There's someone that does that. Yeah. When I tell you that this production was definitely done to the T, there was no all T's were,
Yeah. Them dudes, Dave and John, and I don't know who else they got. I think it's a guy named Sean.
Yeah.
But I know Dave and John definitely been putting their imprint in the movie business here in Cleveland.
They've been doing it for years, and the thing is the dedication that they have is it's amazing to see them working together, all three of them. Mm-hmm. Johnny was behind the scenes doing things. And
Versace.
Pretty much. Yeah. So he would always bring good energy as well, and then he find out what people needed and think. I found him giving away things that he wanted himself. I've noticed that. He would want the Red Bull, but he'd give it to somebody.
Right.
If they wanted it, if they needed it. Yes.
Yeah.
He would make sure that each one of us was taken care of to the T. I've never seen anybody that was so dedicated to his cast members as well as the people that worked around, even behind the scenes. Sean, when I tell you he did the craziest shots with that bathtub, how he zoomed in, he didn't have a machine.
Yeah.
He used his body.
Right.
So that was just amazing.
Right.
And he was literally on the tip of his toes trying to get the
all the right
angle.
angles.
It was just, I have like the utmost respect for those guys.
Well, it's always good to know that you got people on an independent level that look out for the actors and actresses that's doing movies, because a lot of times people don't have a budget or things like that to be able to sustain and keep people happy. You know what I'm saying? Because refreshments and, you know, just having things at your disposal is going to keep the energy there. Yeah,
because there was times when we had to stay for hours. I believe the first day of shooting, we were there from like 7 o'clock in the morning till like 2 o'clock in the 7 o'clock a.m. To 2 o'clock a.m.
So it was on set, just shooting rigorous.
The whole time.
Makeup constantly. You do makeup?
I did the makeup for Buddy Ron, and I did start out doing the makeup, but then after a while it became like, you know, tedious for me to go to all those different places. So
you like multi-talented on set.
I do a lot of different things.
You like multi-talented. You gotta get with her, you know what I'm saying? Get her and get Artiva Williams in your movies, you know what I'm saying? You know, she's your triple threat on set.
And the thing is when you are doing something like that and you're doing a production like that, you need to be hands-on. Everyone needs to be a part of it, because we're a family at that point. We're literally a family.
How many months did it take to shoot, or did it take months?
It took months. Yeah. I think they were done with it. I want to say we started in like May. No, it was like September, I think.
21?
Yeah, 21.
Right, and then y'all released it in 22.
Right.
Yeah. That's dope.
And it was the movie of the year.
Yeah, y'all won an award.
And I ended up getting nominated for Best Supporting Actress. Which was awesome. Yeah.
That's dope. You was able to see your work on screen and then see the fruits of your labor.
Exactly.
That is live.
The only thing that I didn't like was that I felt like I didn't really have time to do my own makeup all like that. You know, I wanted to look good too, but I wouldn't say I looked terrible, but you know, you're always your own worst critic. So I was like, I needed that. And I told Dave one time, we were in the diner, and I was like, my lips are so dry.
Give me some water.
Can I please put some chapstick on? He was like, we gotta get this shot.
He like, no. He like, you gotta rock it like that.
We gotta get this shot, because at the end of the day, there is lighting. There's certain, you know, especially with the diner scene, we were in front of a window. Yeah. So we take up time to stop and do a lot of stopping. There's already a lot of stopping and going.
And that's cost.
Exactly. So he was just like, no, let's get this shot done. And I'm looking at myself like, I could have used some, like, you know, chapstick or something.
But it all came together.
Yeah, it did.
They made y'all look real good on film. Yeah. Y'all did your thing. Like I said, you know, it was a great movie. You know, shout out to them guys. Shout out to you for playing your role in the movie. Y'all gotta go and check it out on Tubi. You can go watch it at any time. Make sure y'all go check out Artiva Williams' part in there, and be on the lookout for her in more different roles. You said that you got another movie that y'all doing. You got coming up. What was the name of it?
I don't know what the new movie is coming up right now. I know that he's going to be holding auditions soon for it.
Okay, HWIC Film.
Correct.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So you gonna be in that one?
Everyone has to audition, though. I mean, you got to audition.
Yeah, it ain't no funny business.
Yeah, they don't.
You gotta get.
They don't discriminate. Although there was a lot of members in it that have blue checks, that have a huge following. I was one of the ones that did not have a huge following, so it's not about that. It is about talent.
How did it affect your celebrity? Did people see you and be like, "Oh, I saw you in that movie"?
I saw this guy when I was working at my old job, and he was just like, I've seen you.
He kept staring.
I'm like, what are you talking about? He was just looking. I'm like, what are you looking at?
He was like, I seen you in the movie.
He was like, I know where I see you at.
Right.
Where?
That's
so that was interesting to have people ask me like, oh, how was it? And I'm like, not used to that, you know, type of
because you
attention.
Like out of nowhere, people was just kind of staring at you. People was
asking
coming up
questions.
to you.
Oh, and then at the premiere, this lady called me Bobby. She's like, Bobby. Bobby. I'm
like you was oh, you know it's real then. You know it's real then when they calling you by the character's name.
She called me Bobby. She was like, can I get a picture with you, Bobby? I'm like, okay, yeah, but my real name's...
yeah. That's live. That's how did that something like that make you feel inside?
It was scary at first, but after a while, it became like it felt good because I knew that I had done something positive and something good that people were looking up to me. Yeah,
you got recognized for your work.
It was nice.
Yeah, that's loud. That's loud. It's always good to be recognized for hard work. Was it days?
Many hours.
Was it days that you was like, oh, I gotta go right there?
The day that he changed the script, I'm not gonna lie, I was not happy about that.
You having a rough day that day?
I wasn't like but it was right that he changed it the way he did. He had the right concept.
Yeah.
The idea that he figured out how to...
Can you remember what the other part was? What was it like that made him change it?
I think it was just too much talking in one setting.
Yeah.
So it was like a lot of words that were saying the same thing as what I said before.
How hard is it for an actor to change directions? How hard is it for you to change directions? Like, once
it's
you
not
did
hard.
that, because
it's not hard. Because sometimes I don't.
You said you got it right off.
Yeah. Sometimes I don't read the script. I read off of my, and then I'll look at it that day. And then I'll be like, oh, okay, these are my lines. Yeah. So I like to challenge my brain.
That's what's up.
Like make myself memorize things.
So I wanna thank you for coming on and talking to us about the movie, talking to us about your journey and everything like that. And like I say, make sure y'all go check the movie out. Is there anything that you would like people to know about you that they don't know about you?
I don't know what that. I'm not really sure what to say about that.
Like, is there anything that they don't know about you that they may need to know?
About me? I don't really know. Like,
ain't nothing there.
I'm pretty much an open book though. I talk about a lot of things.
You gotta ask.
Oh, I do have a podcast actually.
Okay, there we go. They don't know that.
I have a podcast.
What's the name of it?
On Anchor FM, and it's called Art Speaks. And it's.
That's when you do motivational speaking now.
It's about relationships.
And I listen to a couple of your podcasts on Spotify.
Yep.
Yeah.
Spotify and Anchor FM.
Yeah, I checked it out, and I actually did listen to it for about 30 minutes, and I did took a lot from it. Yeah, took some pieces from it. But like I want to thank you for coming on, talking about Scam Likely.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
The link is in my bio.
What's your handle?
Lovey31. Lovey 31.
That's on Instagram.
Yes, that's my Instagram.
And the podcast is again?
Art Speaks, and it's on Spotify and Anchor FM.
Make sure y'all go check that out. Make sure y'all go to payhip.com and check out Energy to More Candles.
I can smell that candle.
Shout out to you can check it out.
I'd like to.
That's sandalwood. This is Ocean
that
Breeze.
Smells nice. It has a very light, very airy scent.
This green apple crisp. Make sure y'all go to payhip.com and check out Energy to More Candles. Also, shout out to Loving Hands Child Care Center. Make sure you take your child there if you need child care services. If you look for a job, they also hiring. And this is another top podcast. Like I said, I want to thank Artiva Williams for coming through and chopping it with us on the podcast. Be on the lookout for this interview.